Alright. Thank you for joining me tonight for healthy relationship habits. I love this topic. I think it's so important to know what those habits are and start implementing those into your relationship. So, um, just a quick little definition of what a healthy relationship is. Um, a healthy relationship is a connection between individuals characterized by mutual respect, trust, and open communication. It is built on a foundation of emotional and physical safety, where both partners feel supported with each other's personal growth and well being. Healthy relationships prioritize individual and the collective happiness with an equitable balance of power and responsibility.
Mhm. I like that.
So I am Stephanie Moutei. I am your intimacy, sex, and relationship coach. Um, I live in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'm just sharing what I love and helping individuals and couples have healthier relationships. And you are, if you'll share your name and where you are chiming in from.
So my name is Melanie Reed, and I am chiming in from Orlando.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining.
Yes. Hey, thanks
Um,
for hosting this.
Absolutely. So, a little bit about what we're going to be doing tonight. So, talking about healthy relationship habits, right? So,
Right.
they are essential because they do form that foundation for strong, lasting connections.
Right.
These habits, like communication, mutual respect, trust, they help partners navigate challenges and also grow together. Um, by consistently practicing these behaviors, couples can build a relationship that's based on understanding, support, and love. And these habits also can prevent small issues from escalating and creating a safe and positive environment where both partners feel valued and connected. Um, in essence, they are the key to maintaining a fulfilling and resilient relationship over time. And I would just like to send out a poll um, and get your thoughts on this. So I just sent out the poll. It's what percent of relationships do you think are healthy and happy? You'll
Mm.
send in your vote there. Perfect. I've got that. So, just so that you know, the vote was 25%. Researchers have actually estimated that only 10% of relationships in the US are highly healthy and happy. And
That's
that is
so
exact,
sad.
right?
Sorry. Sorry.
No,
That's just
that's
so
so
sad.
sad. I would have
I
thought that it was a little bit higher.
That's why I put 25% because honestly, I would think at least a quarter of the people have to be like truly happy and healthy, right?
Yeah,
And I would think that it's like maybe older people
yeah.
also
That
that
have been
really,
together for a long time.
yeah, I would assume that they're the ones that are really truly the happiest, probably.
Yeah. And this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want to help people be able to develop and maintain healthy relationships. I want to change this statistic. It can be more. It doesn't have to be only 10%. And um, I'm hoping that with what I share going forward will help you out with that.
I love that.
So, some of these key habits for healthy relationships is effective communication.
It's
That
huge.
can be open, honest, and regular communication. It includes sharing your feelings, discussing concerns, and actively listening to each other. Um, For effective communication, I recommend active listening and expressing your needs clearly.
Okay.
Um, do you know what active listening is and what that involves?
For me, I would think like definitely listening to hear and not respond. Definitely, having eye contacts
Yes,
and repeating key points so that they know that you're getting what they're saying. Um,
absolutely.
not, staying calm, I think is a big one.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand.
You've covered quite a few.
Okay.
Um, besides what you listed, I'll list a couple more. Um, avoid interrupting. That is something that I think we forget when
So hard.
we're trying to listen to someone because we want to like add to it or, but avoid interrupting if possible. Use nonverbal cues, showing that you're interested, leaning in, like you said, eye contact as well. Um, avoid distractions, turn off the phone, turn off the TV so that you can be present.
Yeah.
Um, provide feedback and stay neutral and non-judgmental can help with the active listening.
Yeah.
Mutual respect. With this one, it's valuing each other's opinions, feelings, and boundaries. Respect fosters a sense of equality and trust in a relationship. And with this mutual respect, part of that is setting and respecting boundaries.
Yeah.
And this is probably one of the trickier things I think for people is knowing how to set those boundaries. So I want to share just a little bit about setting boundaries and what that looks like. You want to reflect on what your needs are. That can help you figure out what kind of boundaries you need to set and be very specific and clear. You want to use I statements. I need or I feel like.
Yeah.
Um, you want to communicate early and, if possible, proactively. So if you are in a situation and you do feel that what someone is saying or doing is crossing a line for you, communicate that right then while it's happening, if possible. Be firm but respectful. Anticipate pushback, which definitely can happen. I think this is a big one. Practice saying no. How
Mm.
many of us are a yes man, yes woman, and we forget to say no?
Yeah.
So practice saying no, um, prioritizing self care, and reevaluate and adjust as needed. The
Good.
next
Good.
habit is trust and transparency. How important do you think trust and transparency is for a healthy relationship?
I think I mean, I think it's a staple of a good foundation, right? Like, because without that,
Absolutely.
like, like, what else are you building off of? Right? Because these things are things that
Correct.
you build off of. So, like, if you don't have that, what, what are you doing? Where are you building?
Absolutely. You're setting yourself up to fail, your relationship to fail, to tumble and collapse if you
Right.
don't have trust in that foundation.
Yeah.
So some ways that you can build trust, right, is through consistent actions, being a person of your word, having what you say you're going to do and you follow through with the actions that match your words that you're saying.
Right.
That helps to build that trust. Being transparent is about sharing your thoughts and feelings and your behaviors, right? The next habit is quality time together. Um, that is one of my love languages. So for me, I do find this easier But for those that this isn't their love language, this could be a bit challenging.
Yeah.
Um, but it's very important to building a healthy relationship and maintaining that healthy relationship by prioritizing time with your partner to connect, whether it's through shared activities, meaningful conversations, or simply just being present with each other. If your significant other is like into football, which we're just approaching football season, right?
Yeah.
So if your partner is into football and you're not, just be there. You could be doing something else while your partner's watching the game, but it's just simply being in each other's presence
Yeah.
that you're still getting that quality time.
Yeah.
So, those are some things to think about. Next up is shared goals and values. Um, with this one, I think for the most part, couples do fairly well with this. At least I hope so. Um, but aligning on important life goals and values, that helps in creating a strong foundation for a relationship too. If you're too far opposite directions with like your goals, what you value, I was just talking the other day about core values, knowing what your core values are and finding a partner that has at least one or two of those same core values can really help that foundation. This one, our next one is forgiveness and letting go of grudges. How many of you have a hard time with forgiveness?
Probably.
It can
I don't know.
be,
Sometimes.
I'm I'm so like
yeah.
Yeah.
it's not with a lot of people, but there's a few people that have like kind of gone over the edge, and I've kind of held grudges against some of them.
It's
Yeah.
easy. I mean, it is easy to do sometimes. It just certain things I think throw me off. And you're right, Justin. Certain people sometimes in our lives just automatically are so hard
Yeah,
to
Because
forgive.
they've like, as you said, they've gone over
Yeah, and
board,
yeah,
after
you
so many
know.
times,
At some point you do have to let go of that person because obviously they're not respecting you. They're not someone that really probably should be in your life, whether that is a partner, friends, or family, because that's you respecting yourself, right?
yeah,
And not allowing someone to continue to show up in a very negative, toxic, disrespectful way. Um, but even in those instances, and I think this is something that we often forget, we can still forgive that person, but we're forgiving them for ourselves, not for them, but we're forgiving them for ourselves so that we can release that and not hold on to that grudge, even though they're out of our life.
right.
So that's something to also think about. And being able in a relationship, obviously, depending on what it is, because there are some things that you just can't move past. Um, but for the more smaller, minor things, being able to move forward without holding that past with that person against them so that you can rebuild. And part of that is going back to trust, right? And rebuilding that trust. And our last habit for healthy relationships is consistent effort, continuously working on the relationship, even during the good times. A lot of times in the good times, we just think, hey, everything's great. We don't need
Yeah,
to put any effort really into anything because everything's going smooth, everything's going great. We don't need to put any effort in. It's when things are hard and rocky, different situations come up that we are putting in effort, but we should be putting in effort all the time
yeah,
at all stages of a relationship, right? And that
absolutely.
helps keep that connection strong and healthy. I think part of this too is we're all changing. Every single day we are changing, right? Whether we like it or not. And in relationships, that consistent effort is also consistently relearning, falling in love again with your partner. Doesn't matter if it's been 6 months, a year, 10 years, 25, 50 years, you're a different version. So you get to relearn that person that you're with as well. And I think a lot of times that is forgotten in relationships.
So true.
Right?
Yeah.
So this really hit home to me. Positive interactions in relationships can reduce the risk of depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. If you have a healthy relationship, it's healthy, you're both happy in the relationship, it's very strong, you are less likely to experience depression, anxiety, and or suicidal thoughts. Now, obviously, there can be different situational things that come up, but if you have a partner that's supporting you through whatever situation comes up, you lose a lost one. God forbid you lose a child. You find out you or your partner have cancer, like different situations like that that can come up that do for the most part truly impact a relationship, and it could be hard to recover from that. But if you are supporting each other through those things, it's less likely for that to come up, or if it does, it's not long term, right? It can subside because you do have that love and support from your partner to make it easier to get through whatever the situation is. Has anyone experienced anything like that in a relationship?
I mean, probably. I can't think of a specific situation right this moment, but yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had like it wasn't a romantic relationship, but friendships, right? So my grandmother passed away in 2017, and she was my rock. And if it was not for my friends' support and love, I don't know. It probably would have taken me a lot longer to process and grieve the loss of my grandmother if I hadn't had that love and support from my friends. So,
right. No, I can, yeah. It's definitely super important.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So there are some practical strategies for implementing these healthy relationships. Routine check-ins. Do any of you do that in a relationship you're in now or in past relationships?
Yeah, like usually, like when I'm with somebody, I usually talk to them every day. Like normally at the end of the day, I also text them throughout the day. Like it's a daily thing.
Good. Good. I love that. How about you, Mel?
I'm a talker, so I feel like I don't know that it's like purposefully that. I feel like I just don't give my partner a choice. And I'm like, we're gonna talk. I've got some things to clear. Like, I want to talk about things.
Yeah.
And so we are trying to find that happy medium between where it's not, because he's like an avoidant attachment and I'm an anxious attachment. So it's fantastic fun. Um,
We'll have to definitely do a webinar on attachment styles.
yeah, no, absolutely. Because it's important, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so we're getting better at becoming less of those things. And I think that it's going to be easier. Like, I think we're doing more things to kind of like learn to check in with each other on stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
Establishing regular times to discuss your relationship status is good, whether it's daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or at least monthly, that you are checking in, with your partner and seeing, are you guys on the same page? Do you guys feel the same about the relationship? Like where it's going, where it is right now? Or are you guys kind of off page and need to discuss and reconnect there, right?
Yeah.
And then conflict resolution. So with conflict resolution, this is also very tricky for couples. If you grew up in a household where there was a lot of dysfunction and arguments, you may not fully know how to have a healthy conflict resolution. So being able to learn that and implement that and practice that in your relationship can definitely turn your relationship around from potentially an unhealthy relationship of what maybe you've learned from parents, grandparents, to a healthy relationship. And being able to approach for resolving disagreements, do it in a constructive manner. If you can do that and focus on a solution rather than the blame game, it's you did this, da 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 da. It involves compromising and finding common ground. So it's the us versus the problem instead of me versus you. And I think we forget that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being able to change that dynamic of it's us against the problem, let's work together to find a solution or a compromise on this can definitely change that whole entire dynamic. The fear and resistance of conflict, the defensiveness, even when conflict rises, sometimes we get on the defensive, but being able to do that can definitely de-escalate that. Another strategy is support and growth, encouraging and supporting each other's personal and professional growth. Um, any suggestions on some different ways that you could do that? Supporting a partner's personal and professional growth.
Yeah, I think asking questions about what they're doing and their daily like routines, or where they, what their goals are, asking what their goals are for in professional and in personal, and seeing what you can do to help them achieve that goal.
Absolutely. And what if you're, maybe an example is your partner gets a promotion. So
Yeah.
you take them out to celebrate that promotion,
Yeah.
right? That's a great way to support your partner. Personal goals. Like, let's say they want to do a 5K. Go and be there for their 5K, or maybe even you do the 5K with them. But if not, at least show up there. Be there when they finish cross the finish line. If they're wanting to lose weight, be supportive in that, because when someone's on a weight loss journey, they're already struggling typically with body image issues and self-esteem and confidence. So having a loving and supportive partner to help through that, going to work out together, going for a walk together. If you're typically not someone that eats healthy, that you start to eat healthy with your partner to help them and support them. It's a great way. And you're providing that emotional support as well. And our last strategy is healthy balance of independence and togetherness. So maintaining your individual identities while still nurturing the relationship.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one thing that does impact a relationship is when one or both lose themselves in the relationship. And so it's very important to keep up with your habits, your hobbies, the things that you love, your friends, and being able to still go and do stuff with your friends, but then also having time together. That quality time that I talked about is one of the healthy habits. Making sure you still have quality time with each other, but also time with your friends, with your family, by yourself, or together. That definitely will help create a sense of self outside of the relationship.
I think that, and it helps create that balance, I feel like.
Yes. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
very healthy, and that's lacking in a lot of relationships, unfortunately, today.
Yeah.
So I found this. According to the New York Post, Americans' relationship goals for 2024 include being positive, improving communication, spending more time together, and saying, I love you more. Did any of you make any similar goals this year?
No,
I personally didn't.
not
Okay,
like that. I mean, we say I say me and my partner say I love you every single day to each other. So
that's good.
like we definitely, and we live together, so we spend a lot of time together. But we choose to spend a lot of time together too. Um,
Have either of you in a current relationship or a past relationship, have you discussed goals about your relationship, goals for the relationship itself?
I never did get to the point to discuss any goals with any relationships I've been in.
Yeah,
I never got to that point really.
I mean,
that's okay.
I've been married. So, I mean, outside of
Yeah.
like discussing getting married, not really like that kind of goal. Like, I feel like that's the only kind of goal I've ever set in a relationship where it's like, okay, we're going to get married.
Well, I invite in the future to maybe sit down and think about with your partner, what are some goals that you guys can have together,
We
and,
do
and
want to buy
write
a
those
house.
down.
We want to buy a house.
Yes,
That's a goal.
there you go. That is a goal. Yes. And write those down. Writing down a goal, you are much more likely to actually reach that goal if you write it down and have it somewhere visually that you see, like on the refrigerator,
Like a,
in the bathroom, than just saying it. Yes, it's
yeah.
great to say it, but write it down.
Okay.
So a quick little recap. So in this webinar, we explored key habits that contribute to strong and healthy relationships. Some of those were effective communication. We discussed the importance of open and honest dialogue, active listening and what that looks like, expressing needs clearly to build mutual understanding, mutual respect, setting those boundaries, and how to set boundaries, and how that fosters trust and equality in a relationship. Trust and transparency. We covered how consistent actions and being a person of your word and making sure that your words and actions line up can help build that foundation of trust and security. Quality time, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing time together, engaging in meaningful activities, and even just being present with your partner. Conflict resolution, practical strategies for handling disagreements constructively, support and growth. We talked about encouraging each other's personal growth and supporting one another. Balance and independence and togetherness, maintaining individual identities while nurturing the relationship. So these are all very important to maintain a healthy and fulfilling relationship. And now that we've covered some habits for healthy relationships, I would love to hear from you. This is your opportunity to ask any questions you may have about the material. I know, Justin, you came on a little bit late,
Yeah.
but thank you for joining. But I don't know if either one of you have any questions on what you did hear and learn today.
I mean, I want to say that I think it's all pretty helpful, honestly. I think that it's nice to have, like, I think a platform to kind of ask questions to like different, to be able to have like different types, groups of people on here that have different opinions and have a different outlook on things, like just that kind of like, it feels easy to talk about things that can be awkward or weird sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, that's not really a question, but I just wanted to say that I do appreciate it. So like
I
it.
appreciate that feedback. Thank you.
Same thing for me. I appreciate what you're doing as well.
Thank you so very much. I love doing this. Well, I want to thank you for joining today's webinar on healthy relationship habits. I hope that you have gained some insight to enhance your relationships. Next week, join me, same time, 7 p.m. For navigating sexual desires and boundaries in relationships.
I'll be on it.
Hey, if you're ready to take your relationship to the next level, I'm here to help you. You can contact me by email, Stephanie@intimate-journey.com, or by phone, 720-774-2200. And the website is up live, intimate-journey.com, and also on Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to reach out, set up a consultation with me. But I appreciate you all coming, and you guys have a great rest of your night.
How you too, sir.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.